A white woman is upset at SNAP recipients, and she has a very strong message for them. Check it out.
SNAP victims, here's a great idea. Go get a job. I mean, I have to go to work 5 days a week. Why don't you? And I am so sick and tired of hearing, oh, people aren't going to have holidays and blah, 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 blah. Get a job. It is not my job to support your. Get your out and get a damn job. End of story. If I can do it, you can do it. Why don't we start a movement called Let's All Get a Job? Why don't you try and jump on that train for a little while? Because I'm over your victimizing, your snaps being stopped. Get a job. I'm busting my ass for you to stay home. Get a job.
So as you saw and heard her say there, get a job, get off your A, get a job. I'm tired of hearing about your holidays and this, that, and the other. Basically saying if I work, then you should work too. And all this other stuff. Well, I want to kind of dispel some things here. Most people who are on food stamps work to some degree. Let me break it down for you. More than half of non-disabled, non-elderly adults on SNAP work in a typical month. Around 70% of adult wage earners on SNAP work full-time, 35 or more hours a week. 74% of non-disabled, non-elderly adults on SNAP work within a 12-month period. That includes the month they receive benefits. 89% of households with children and non-disabled adults had at least one working member over a 25-month period. Now, adults on SNAP who are not working often have caregiving responsibilities or health conditions that are barriers to employment. And so you heard me say there that a lot of people who are working get SNAP, or people who get SNAP often are working. But you have ignorant people like her that like to run around saying, get a job. You should get a job. You know, there's a lot of people with jobs. They call them the working poor. There's people who work 40 hours a week and cannot afford to put food on the table. So if they qualify for SNAP, then they get those benefits. And it's not to totally feed them. It's a supplement, which means it goes with what they already have. So when people run around, get a job, you get a job, or some people say get a better job. Most people who are working, yeah, they probably could get a better job, but they got the better job that they need right at the moment. And as I always say, people say, when you working at Taco Bell, who gonna feed you when you drive up in the drive-thru and try to get your burrito or your taco? Somebody got to do that job. So, yeah, but we should be arguing for a livable wage instead of demonizing people who need food stamps that are working. Because right now, the average minimum wage in the United States is $7.25. Where can you live on $7.25 an hour? Nowhere. So if you are working a job that's paying you $7.25 an hour and 40 hours a week, you're not making a lot of money to do nothing with. You can't pay your rent. You probably can't hardly pay your car payment. There's a lot of things you cannot do, let alone put food on the table. And a lot of times food is a last consideration, because if I don't pay the rent, then I'm not going to have nowhere to live. If I don't keep the lights on, then I'm not going to be able to see the heat, the air conditioner. Depending on where you live, you need those things, right? Insurance, if you drive a car, that's mandatory. You can't drive a car without insurance. And the cost of car insurance is through the roof. So when we talk about how people need to work, we need to really remember to give it a full conversation. Stop saying silly stuff, because I always say, there but for the grace of God, there go I, which means thank God that is not me. But if it ever was me, I would not want to hear somebody run around, get a job, doing this, that, and the other, because more than likely I'd have a job. I've had a job since I was 14 years old. Yes, indeed. And I'm 54 now. I have worked most of my life. Right? But I never want to hear somebody try to demonize me and kick me when I'm down because I need a little bit of help. Is it an argument for able-bodied people who are not working when it should be? Absolutely. But welfare fraud, from what I understand, in regards to food stamps, is less than 2%. So we give more of a conversation to the 2% than we do the 98% that's doing the right thing. And it's not right to blanket everybody with 2% of people who are not doing the right thing. But see, that's self-righteousness too. Get a job. Because you never know, Miss Ma'am, when that could be you. Because it very well could be the way things are going. And the last thing you want to do is log onto the internet and see somebody look like you talking about get a job, get off your A. you should be quiet before it's you next. So anyway, y'all let me know what you think of that. And for more insightful commentary, please subscribe to this channel and my channel, the Demetra